Hey, do you remember Wazani? Wazani was the weird noodle guy that Sanji fights on the sea train as the Straw Hats are making their way to Ennis Lobby. What's super weird about this is that, much like a lot of Sanji's opponents, Wazani mirrors him and foreshadows things to come for him in a lot of ways because he has an attack called Fire Skate Blades, right? Because he's a chef that uses noodles, but he also has these noodle cutters on his feet that look like rollerblades. And this is a flaming kick that he performs. And this is before Dabla Jumbe is even a thing. So it's really funny that not so much later that we get Sanji using a fire leg attack. And that just becomes the crux of his moveset moving forward after his fight with Jaguar. What's also funny about this is that Wazani has these weird little swirls on his cheeks that are actually going in the same direction. This mirrors Sanji because we would later find out in the time skip that his eyebrows are going in the same direction. What's also kind of interesting is that Wazani has this noodle armor thing, right? This could be a play on a snail having a shell. It's called a ramen's formal suit, right? So this could be a play on snails having shells, or it could be a play on just armor in general. Either way, this is twofold because one, the first time that we find out that Sanji's eyebrows go in the same direction is during Little Garden, in which the Den Mushi has similar swirls on his cheeks to Wazani, reflecting Sanji when he's talking. So it's funny too that Wazani looks like a snail and has a shell and has the same cheeks as that Den Mushi way back in Little Garden. And two, the reason why the ramen suit is important is because it is a prelude to Sanji's body changing after getting the Super Sentai Germa 66 suit called Stealth Black, which would then have prolonged effects on his physiology and give him an exoskeleton that acts as armor for the remainder of the narrative. What's also interesting about this is that this is the first time that Sanji literally rearranges a person's face through kicking. This would then lead into getting a bounty after the events of Ennis Lobby, which then leads us into finding Duval, which is why he does the kick again on Duval to change his face. These two instances then lead into him having to do that to himself after his exoskeleton is activated, because now when he gets messed up, he too can just bang on himself and straighten himself out. So in changing people's faces over time, it then leads to him having the ability to rearrange his body by exerting force on it. With that being said, it's also quite fascinating that this is the first time that Sanji uses something other than kicking to resolve a fight. And this, unfortunately, would be the last time that he would do so, as far as we know. But with that being said, give me your thoughts and tell your friends about Polypede Works!